Alright, time for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Rankings. This time on Joey Wheeler's or Jounouchi's Ace Monsters. And let me tell you, a lot of them were just given to him or he won over. But his list is Red Eyes Black Dragon, his main ace, Guilford the Lightning, his second main ace, Flame Swordman, Gearfried the Iron Knight, Jinzo, Time Wizard in a certain way, and also Hermos. There might be other monsters that could be quote-unquote considered his ace. But similar to Yugi in a way, there's a lot of cards that could be considered special to him that he just uses quite often, and I wouldn't exactly call them his main aces either, so I'm trying to list them as just main boss monsters here for him, especially on how he started where it's mostly all monsters. But anyway, like usual, I'm going to be ranking them based on design and not by their effects. Base forms first, evolve forms second, and almost all of them do have evolve forms, so the evolve forms will be listed here as well. So let's begin, and remember, this is all based on my opinion. And another thing to note is that I'm not going to be counting evolve forms that are basically fusions of other aces combined together or friendship fusions. So on the bottom of my list, it's Time Wizard. Weakest of the designs in my opinion. Obviously it's not a boss monster, so it doesn't look awesome obviously, but I do like the cartoonish clock theme on it. Next it will be Gearfried the Iron Knight. Armor design looks not too bad. I like the black theme armor on it. It looks a little bulky at the same time, but I do kind of like the design. Evolve him to Gearfried the Swordmaster. I do understand the lore of it, and I actually kind of like the idea of this lore, where he is so powerful that he needs to wear that armor. So now, taking off that armor, well, he goes out of control, and handsome dude he is. Not saying I hate the design, it's just the other monsters are cooler. And then to number 5, it's Jinzo. I like the robotic brain looking design of Jinzo. Not the coolest of the monsters, but I do kind of like it. Evolve it to Jinzo Lord. Well, I like the color scheme more. The green form of Jinzo just looks a little bit too awkward to me, but it still looks okay, but as Jinzo Lord, even cooler. Still one of my less favorite designs of Joey's Ace monsters though. To number 4 on my list, it is Flame Swordman. I kinda like its design. The fire aesthetic on its armor, the generic looking sword in a way, helmet in a way. Kinda like the warrior-like design, but not my favorite. And now to number 3 on my list, it is Guilford the Lightning. A powerful looking warrior indeed. I like the armor design, even though he doesn't exactly wear too much armor, but he does look cool. I like the sword, in a way a samurai looking design. I do like the helmet design as well, pretty cool looking armor. And I also kinda like the cloak on him. Now to number 2 on my list, it's Hermos. I'm a sucker for dragons. Hermos just looks pretty cool, so obviously he's going to be my number 2, and obvious number 1 will be obvious, but evolve him or change him back to his normal form, Legendary Knight Hermos. Now I really like this Hermos design. I really like the dragon-like armor design here, and just overall just cooler than the other monsters, other than the number 1 spot. In which we go to the number 1 spot being Red Eyes. Yes, Red Eyes is just an awesome looking monster, in my opinion cooler than Blue Eyes, because I like the black aesthetic on Red Eyes. I like the horns on its head, even though he's like a pure black dragon, so not entirely my favorite of them, but I do really like the aesthetic here. The wings look cool as well. Evolve him to Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. Now this looks really awesome. I really like how much it changed, like it's molten lava. And technically Red Eyes Darkness Dragon is molten lava version of Red Eyes Black Dragon. It just looks cool. I like the gem aesthetic on it as well. The only thing that's missing for some reason is the arms. For some reason he lost his arms. But we go to Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, even cooler. I love the metal-like armor on Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Especially with the molten lava aesthetic on Red Eyes Darkness Dragon already, it just looks really awesome. And then we got Lord of Red, which is basically a human in Red Eyes armor, which looks pretty cool. I love the Dragon Knight looking aesthetic here. We can't forget the Malefic Red Eyes. Corrupted Red Eyes, I would say it doesn't look much different, but I do like the extra armor aesthetic. And finally the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, which is basically the Joey Evolve version, which is okay. But overall, Red Eyes is the coolest of Joey Ace monsters in my opinion. So that's it for my rankings for Joey Wheeler Ace monsters or Jounouchi. What do you guys think of it? How would you rank them? I just gave you my opinion on them, so go ahead and tell me yours. And similar to the Yuki list, Joey has a lot of monsters that could be considered special to him, so you can go ahead and list other monsters that should probably be on the list, or maybe not, but I'm trying to mainly list the boss monsters. Scapegoat could technically be one of them, but Scapegoat is a spell. I know Hermos is technically a spell, but it's also actual monster, so it's just weird, especially in the dual monster era. But other than that, this is for this, and see you all next time.